Steve Walker, Client Portfolio Manager on Npower's Optimisation Desk. UK energy markets are largely unchanged from prompt kind of across the curve this morning. So the fundamental outlook is consistent with yesterday's assessment. November 14 UK baseload is currently pricing around £47.20. Summer 14 48.15, both consistent with last night's close. Within day gas system is largely balanced at the open. Demand has nudged lower from almost 220 MCM yesterday to 204 MCM this morning. Slight changes in interconnector nominations see an increase in exports through IUK to just above 20 MCM, with 9 MCM imported through BBL at the open this morning. Overnight demand forecasts indicate an additional 75 MCM a day will be required going into November, making spreads to the continent quite a good metric to follow in the coming weeks. Current spreads between NBP and Zeebrugge look fairly thin at just above 1 pence per therm, if the UK is to at least shut off those IUK exports in the coming couple of weeks. Looking at power, the investigation into the root cause of the fire at Didcot is ongoing, fairly close to the ground on that one. Q115 UK baseload spark spreads increased by 30 pence a megawatt hour as a result of the likely reduction in availability through the period. In contrast to that rise, November kind of barely moved, around 10 pence a megawatt hour. There's strong renewable feed-in and weak underlying demand help offset the outage. Longer run wind generation forecast suggests above 5 gigawatts of feed-in through to the end of October and into November. French interconnector also returns at the end of the week. Capacity there will be back up to 2 gigawatts. So really seeing kind of that reduction in availability from Didcot offset by generation and availability elsewhere. Early indications of gas demand from the CCGT stations today is just above 22 MCM. You'd probably expect that to nudge higher through the course of the day. It's well below recent levels of around 40 to 45 MCM. It's a mixed bag overnight on the temperature forecast side of things. The 30-day EC model indicates a slight reduction through until the end of November by an average of around 10 MCM a day. That's being contrasted by a slight cooling towards the back end, around 7 or 8 MCM a day there as we get into the middle of November. So that'll be one to watch as we approach delivery. Elsewhere, Brent oil continues to make the headlines as recent declines slow. Chinese refineries processed 42 million barrels in September. That's a 9% increase on the same time last year. There's a modest GDP beat overnight as well to 7.3%. Compared to expectations of 7.2. There's API data released from the US later today. I think the expectations there are again for another build in inventories. So that's it for today. Give us a call or a shout on the displayed email address if you'd like further information.